That's celebration. So what did you have for Easter?
We have like I went to the church with my family like a few hours ago, and we have to go to church tomorrow. Like and then all that like traditions which are connected with Eastern must be followed. And what about you?
It's something with us, but I didn't go to church because I actually forgot today was Good Friday. So I had a lesson by 8 a.m. So I couldn't meet up with church service. I totally forgot. That was why I couldn't meet up.
Okay,
But
so
now,
maybe like
yeah.
we
But
can have
I'll
our
definitely be in problem.
sorry.
What did you say? I didn't
I
get you.
yeah, maybe we can like have
I didn't hear you. What?
sorry, do you hear me? I'm here, do you hear me?
No, you said we can have what? I hear you now. What did you say? Hello?
Yeah, do you hear me now? Hey, do you hear me?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so I would like
Yes,
to
yes, yes.
yeah, like I have a suggestion that we can have like a shorter lesson today because we have to go to our families, and maybe let's have like
Okay, okay, no problem. Yes,
because it's
no
with it
problem.
and me and
It's
you
fine. Just share your screen. Let's start. Would be a bit quick.
unfortunately I can my share my screen because I didn't take my computer with myself and I only
Is
have
that
this. Unfortunately, I can't like turn on my screen because didn't take my laptop with me to home.
oh, okay. Let me try to share my screen. I actually heard Ukrainians have a tradition where they bake a particular cake for Easter. So did you bake a cake for Easter?
Yeah, yeah, and we have to bake like a cake to the Easter, then eat it with some other meals which are really connected with Ukrainian culture, like some meat, some butter, some and other like some eggs, and all that must be like seconds, like Saint water or something like this.
Okay, it's fine. It's kind of strange. Okay, read what we have. It's all about Bangladesh.
Yeah, a few seconds. I'm trying to turn on, like to find class because it's really hard to do it from phone.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like the lesson number 33. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So it's all Balderdash. What is Balderdash?
It's something senseless.
Ah, okay. So it's doesn't have a sense. Okay.
Like a senseless talk or writing or some nonsense. Actually,
Uh-huh.
nonsense.
Okay,
I
okay, so I
remember
have.
hearing this word when I was in high school. When someone says something that doesn't make sense, I'll be like, "You're talking Bangladesh." So immediately I saw it in our lesson. It sounded funny.
Okay, so I have to read just all that Balderdash.
Yes.
Okay, so Keppel, Nebop, Cabotech, Nessel, Gabel.
Ukrainian word.
Sorry?
Are these Ukrainian words?
No, it's not a Ukrainian word.
Oh, When I went through it, I actually thought it was Ukrainian words.
No, no,
Is that
it's none of them
English?
is Ukrainian.
Okay. Okay, so you are to find out the definitions of this word. So maybe you could do that later after the lesson.
Can you repeat, please? Because I didn't hear you clearly.
Okay, I said you are to find out the meaning of this word. So you can do that after the lesson.
Okay, so I will chat. I will put it into Chat GPT.
Okay, no problem. So, guess the character. 1.2. Hope you have your platform in your phone.
Yeah, I see. So guess the character. Who is the character? Uh, so it's just to me. It's like Keanu Reeves or not? It's really similar to Keanu Reeves.
So who is the person? What does he do? I don't know the character.
It seems to me that it's some like somebody really famous, and he would like to be alone without some paparazzi and the other persons who would like
Okay,
to take
call
it.
the name again. Call the name again.
Keanu Reeves.
Okay, okay. It was is he a movie star?
Yeah, yeah, he's like a movie star. Maybe you know a film, John Wick, or like he's really famous. It seems to me.
Okay, okay. I think I know a little about him. He's a movie star around, generously donating to charities out of kindness of his heart rather than because it's a career attribute. Okay, no problem. The second person. Okay.
Okay. So it's without some person. It's maybe connected a little bit with Harry Potter, because it seems to me that they have the same the same costume.
Okay, the third one.
So it's Keanu Reeves again. So it
Oh,
seems to me that it's like the same actor with who was in the first photo.
okay, what else do you really know about him?
A few seconds, I will try to Google it. I maybe some film with him. A few seconds.
Is it still the same person here, the last photo?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's him. Yeah, it's correct. Because he's really famous. He's like took part in like Matrix, he in Sonic, in John Wick. It's really famous, and they're all a lot of other popular movies.
Is he a Ukrainian?
No, no, no. He's not Ukrainian. He's few seconds. He's from Canada.
Okay, okay.
Did you see like a film how it The Matrix?
No, I hardly watch movies, sorry.
Ah, okay. So like Matrix is like a really famous film all over the world.
Okay, I'll try to see the movie. I'm usually very busy, one thing or the other, so I hardly have time to watch movies. Okay, so let's move to vocabulary.
Okay. So first of all, speed dating. Are there many ongoing conflicts happening in the world? It's mean like world conflicts or political conflicts or some other conflicts.
No, maybe it could be a world conflict, it could be about a particular country, like generally.
No, like it seems to me is like the main conflict in the world for now is like Ukrainian and Russia war, and
Yeah.
the second one it's like trade war between the United States of America and China.
Yes, yes. Okay. So, which fight do you think might be the most dangerous right now?
It seems to me that like war in Ukraine, because Russia has signed a lot of times that they would like to use the nuclear power, but it seems to me that it's like just a lie, but like the possibility always exists.
So, okay, sorry to ask further. What's the possibility of the war ending soon? Are Ukrainians making any progress?
Like none of them believe like in really great peace in good conditions for us because Russia took a lot of our territories, and now like they would like to have peace, but with grabbing like 20% or 20% of our territory.
Because I have a student who lives in the boundary or close to
Mhm.
the boundary. We haven't had lessons for 2 weeks now because she said the Russians attacked the boundary. She even sent me some videos how everywhere got destroyed. I think a city center or something. It was they were throwing missiles. It was really terrifying.
So, they like they bombed like 1 week ago they bombed a kindergarten with a lot of children, and there was like killed around 25 people, and a bigger part of them was children.
It's so pathetic, honestly. It's really bad. I just the whole world and the nation prays that the war comes to an end because it's really saddening. It's saddening because countries that used to import things from Ukraine, now things are becoming expensive. Things like cereals or wheat, the likes of things that you have a lot in your country is now becoming expensive for the world at large. Do you understand?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So why do you think people want to become soldiers?
Mm, it seems to me that they would like to become soldiers to protect their like few seconds. I forgot the word. Few seconds. Uh, like they would like to protect their homeland, their country.
Yes,
And
and then okay.
that's why they and a lot of unfortunately a lot of soldiers would like to become soldiers to get a lot of money because when your country is in war, to become a soldier is really great to like to become rich.
Oh, are soldiers rich?
A lot of soldiers, for example, like in Ukraine, like a middle salary is around like $600 to $700.
You
But
serious?
sorry,
Oh, I'm shocked. I was like, are you serious? That's much.
yeah, it's like average in Ukraine, but when you become soldier, you can get around 2.5 thousand dollars in Ukraine, but you have to be in like in conflict and shooting every day.
Oh, that and you may lose your life in the process
Yeah, it's like a really big chance to lose your life in that conditions.
as well. Okay, do you believe we should have a global sheriff?
Unfortunately, I don't know about like concept of a global sheriff. Can you tell me more about it?
Like a sheriff is like a government official with varying duty, existing in some countries with historical ties to the England where they are originated. So it's like government officials that has a lot of political successors and political powers. Do you understand?
Yeah, if that all powers will give like peace all over the world, it's
All
a
over the
great
world.
option.
Okay, it's fine. So let's talk about the vocabularies. Read the first word there.
Okay, so turmoil and chaos, a state of great anxiety and confusion. In the turmoil and chaos of the 1916s, his years in office brought a period of calm, peace, and prosperity. Turkey has been in turmoil and chaos since the purge aimed at dissenters.
So, like, it's a period where there is a great anxiety and confusion, just like what is currently going on in Ukraine. Do you understand?
Yeah, yeah, I get it.
Okay, next one.
Okay, so to run out of, to use up the supply of, conditions are getting worse and we might run out of food soon.
Yeah.
Oil
Mm.
supplies are low, but they have not run out yet.
Yeah, so when you're running out of something, you've used up everything you have, you've used up all the necessary resources. Sorry, is it call on record? You know, my screen is sharing, so I may not know much.
Yeah, like it says to me that everything is great on your screen.
Okay, no problem. I was asking if it's on record. Record.
Okay, so to bear is a burden, to endure something this stressing, painful, for the sake of others. Why
Yeah.
should taxpayers have to bear the burden of supporting the unemployed with their hard-earned money? In this and other regions, countries often unfairly bear the burden of cleaning up mines left over by other states.
Okay, so when you're bearing the burden of others, you're enduring something distress, just like what the whole entire country is doing. I heard maybe the male folks cannot travel out of Ukraine. Do you understand? So they're
Mhm.
actually bearing the nation's burden just for the betterment of other people or for the nation in future. Do you understand?
Yeah, yeah, it's clear.
Okay.
So the next one is to impose one's will on, to force somebody opinion views on somebody else. Americans are sometimes considered to be aggressive, as many other nations feel that they want to impose their will on them. She is always trying to impose her will on the other people.
Yes, it's common among Americans. They try to impose things on other nations, try to feel that they are the overruling nation. Everybody should be under them. You understand?
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay, so an offhand command remark expressed without thought preparation. He shouldn't have made that offhand comment about the host's house. I think it was just not a good time. A drain off on more often used. So it's like a drain on resources, a gradual outflow or loose consumption,
Losses,
or
yeah.
yeah,
Depletion, reduction,
or
reduction
depletion.
in you have.
Okay, so you can't wage a war forever because they are a big drain of resources and nobody can afford them for long. Fraud trials are often complex and have become an expensive drain on the public purse.
Okay. So to drain off is like to gradual a gradual outflow or losses, consumption or depletion when things are just reducing drastically. Do you understand? Just like the
Yeah, yeah,
resources, when because of the entire fight and everything, things are being drained off in Ukraine, things that people were exporting to other countries, like I said, cereals and grains like oats that they were importing to exporting to countries like Nigeria, they have been the supply has been depleted. Do you understand?
yeah, yeah, it's clear.
Reduced. Okay. To fight like cat and dog, to
Uh,
argue violently all the time. Okay,
yeah,
we get on very well as adults, but as kids we fought like cat and dog. So I even wanted to say that it's common among children or siblings. They're always fighting like cat and dogs. Do you understand?
yeah, yeah, it's clear.
Okay, 1.2 procreative, provocative
Right.
statement. Something that provokes some a statement that can make someone feel bad or something.
So to
Okay.
brothers and sisters always fight like cats and dog. It seems to me that like the statement it's not correct because, for example, my relationships between me and my sister are really great. Like we always spend a great time together.
Was
Make
it like that when you were growing like kids?
no, no, he's like younger than me, like for 7 years.
Okay, that's why. That's why. That's why. If you had a younger one, okay, just like I'm actually a twin. Do you understand? I have a twin sister, so we didn't used to fight because we are age mates. But I know people who have siblings that are just 2 years older than each other. They're always fighting. Maybe this one feels the other one is cheating him or her. Maybe if you give them something to share, the elder one tends to take a very bigger portion and giving the younger one smaller one, they just tend to fight and quarrel over little things. I've seen children like that, but in my own case, I have a sibling who we are twins, so we don't fight. Then we have our younger brother, we senior him with like 16 years gap, so he's a baby to us, so we just pamper him and take care of him. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay. The next
Okay,
one.
so to stop the war is to stop imposing your will on the opponent. It seems to me that it's like halfly correct, but it's like halfly correct, let's say.
Okay. The next
Mm,
one.
okay, so there is no chance humans run out of food these days. It seems to me that it's correct because it's sometimes for a lot of people in our planet, it's sometimes hard to get through a shortage of food, and they're trying to get it.
Yeah.
And 2 days ago, I read news that we lost, like we are losing a lot of, like a lot of kinds of fish nowadays.
Oh. Mm. Okay. So I have an offhand comment to remember. What do you think about that?
Uh, I don't know what to think about it. It's just to me, it's like just a sentence. No.
Okay. So I bought buckwheat and candles in the turmoils and chaos of the 2020 COVID-19 of COVID 2020 COVID and coronavirus.
Yeah, it seems to me that everybody was doing that stuff because all, for example, all of Ukrainians were a little bit in panic, and that's why they decided that like a great decision would be to buy a lot of food and some candles in some conditions if there won't be electricity supplement.
Okay, okay. So read the next one.
Our next generation will bear the burden of renewing to the climate. It seems to me that it's like a halfly correct because, for example, in Ukraine there are a lot of like that green planet innovations and a lot of, for example, packs to the milk or some juices or some water is from recyclable materials, and I believe that our next generation won't be with the burden of renewing the climate. But it could be.
Okay, that's nice. So the next one says you cannot wage a war forever because there are a big drain of resources and nobody can afford them for long. What do you think?
Um, yeah, it's correct because as I'm Ukrainian who live in conditional so far, I totally agree with that because it's really hard to have a lot of human resources because a lot of people are leaving from Ukraine, and it's really hard to get resources, for example, like food or water without growing prices, and that's why it's like impossible to have a war forever.
How long has the war lasted?
Sorry,
How long has the war between your country and Russia lasted?
it's for like 3 years.
Oh no.
Yeah,
It's really a time. That's 2022, right?
it's like it started in 21st February in 2022.
2022.
Yeah, it's like around 1,150 days.
Oh no. This is well. Okay, living in a big city, students are often caught in a costly guam ring.
A few seconds. Yeah, it seems to me it's true because it's not only connected with students. It seems to me that it's connected with all people who live in a big city. It's really easy to be caught in a costly grammar.
That's very correct. Okay. Grammar. Okay. Code criticism. We're talking about code, food, ought, and should. So read what you have there.
Yeah, so use the whiteboard to present grammar and write down the examples. Grammar presentation criticism. Could plus infinitive are used to express criticism or disapproval with references to present or future time. George could really help you. They could at least help us to breathe the burden of holding the Olympic Games. This year we are caught in economic quagmire. Where to meet the United States ambassador, my dear, you could be more polite. Could, ought to, and should, plus perfect infinitives are used to express criticism or disapproval with reference to past time. Uh,
Yes.
yeah, so
The first one refers to present or future time. But when you talk about could, ought to, and should, it has to do with past time. Do you understand?
I believe.
No, the first one is for future or present time. Do you understand? While the second one is for past time. Look at it now. George
Okay.
could really help you. Do you understand? They could at least help us to bear the burden of holding Olympic game. That is something in the future. This year, we were caught in an economic quagmire. So that is in the future holding an Olympic game. But when we say could, ought to, and should, that plus perfect infinitive, we use it to express criticism or disapproval with reference to the past. Have you seen the difference? The first one is future or present, while the second one is past, reference to the past. I should have booked a table in advance. Do you understand? You should have.
Yeah,
That was something past. Of course, you feel sick. You shouldn't have eaten so much chocolate. So if you hadn't eaten so much chocolate, you wouldn't have fallen sick. Do you understand?
yeah, it's clear.
Have told me you weren't coming. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay, read the difference.
Okay, so the difference we use should have to say that a different action was recommended in the past. We use could have to talk about possibilities if something had been different in the past. We use ought to talk about the right options to do which weren't done.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so what's expressed by models here? So read the examples. Just is this is the examples of what we just did.
Okay, okay, what expressed by model here is they could at least help us to bear the burden of holding the Olympic Games. Uh, it's about some possibilities. Mm,
Yes.
okay, so Switzerland ought to have helped countries with an enormous drain on resources during Second World War. So it's like they could did it, but they weren't. So it's about like right options to do which weren't done. And
Yes. What?
you should have been more careful on the road to avoid getting into an accident. Uh, like some actions were recommended in the past.
Correct. Okay. Okay. Criticism.
Okay, so they could at least help us to bear the burden of holding the Olympic Games. It's like the same one, yeah.
Yeah. So criticize the present action. You understand when we said which each one criticizes the present action, but with the second one criticizes the future action, and then the third one criticizes past action. Can you read it?
Yeah, so like the last one.
No, just run through it.
Okay, so we are to meet the United States ambassador, my dear. You could be more polite. It's criticize the future action, sorry. You could have at least helped me last night. Switzerland ought to have helped countries with an enormous drain of non-resources during Second World War. You should have been more careful on the road to avoid getting into an accident. So it's criticize the past action.
Okay, wonderful. So let's do the task.
Okay.
One read the sentence and fill with that. Andrew, are you there?
Yeah, I'm trying to do the task. The task.
Mhm. No, you could have what?
You could have bought bread. Why so?
Let me read it again. Let me check. You could have bought bread, but I didn't know we needed it. That's a past action.
Okay, so
Past
the next
possibility.
one, is connected with criticize the future. We like we
Shouldn't have.
we shouldn't have invited.
Yes.
Okay, so the next one is I saving money years ago. I should have started.
I couldn't. Okay. Oh, sorry. Number three. I should have started. Right. Yes.
Okay, so the next one is the weather any worse, past negative. Couldn't be.
Couldn't have been. You
Okay,
didn't.
so
Okay. Okay.
I on time even if I would left earlier. There were dreadful traffic jams all the way, past negative possibility. Few seconds. I couldn't have arrived.
Correct. You didn't spell the could well. Could.
Yeah,
Could.
sorry, sorry. Okay. So the next one, they is a football match, but John hurt his ankle. They could have won.
Correct.
Okay, so the next one, Lucy, earlier she missed her flight. Uh, Lucy should
Mm-hmm.
had left,
Should have left.
have or
Should.
has. Okay, so here in this grammar type, we don't have to use has with she, he, it.
I didn't get that.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Sorry about that. Oh, someone else joined. Hello,
Yeah,
Sophia. Yes, happy Easter. How are you?
thank you. I'm fine.
Okay, how was your day?
It was very good. We have
Oh,
in my city, the weather is very warm now, and it's so cool.
okay, okay. My city is actually very cold. We rain will fall later in the evening. I know so. Okay, so we are in grammar, Sophia. Can you see my screen, Sophia?
Yes,
Okay, okay. So Andrew is already done with this. Maybe from the when you watch the video, you get to understand the much we've done. Andrew, well done. How was it? Was it a bit complex?
Yeah, like the hardest one was the 9. The
But you
9.
actually got even without my help, so well done.
Okay.
Okay, so let's move to reading. So 1.1, how optimistic are you about the world, Sophia?
I don't know.
Okay, Andrew, what about you?
It's really hard to say because it seems to me that the world for now is really drained, and we have to get through all that stuff, and like the some light in the end of the tunnel would come.
We hope so. We hope so. It's everyone's wish and greatest desire. Okay, so Sophia, can you read what you have? The state of the world.
The state of the world. If your view of the world comes from watching the news and reading newspapers, you could be forgiven for lying awake at night worrying about the future. Apparently, rising violence and population rates mean humans are both killing each other in ever larger numbers and being born at rates the world's resources can't sustain. To make matters worse, all the wealth is concentrated among a handful of people.
Concentrated.
Concentrated among handful of people in the world's richest countries. People in low-income countries live in poverty while the West gets richer. Depressing, isn't it? But do the statistics support our negative worldview, or is the world actually improving? Let's take the global population first. It's around 7 billion now, in line with figures predicted by the UN in 1958. By the year 2020, how is it, 2100 or
2,100.
uh-huh. The same experts predicted will be around 11 billion. But did you know that 11 billion is probably as high as that number will get? The rate of increase will slow down in the second half of this century thanks to falling birth rates today. Falling birth rates. Falling birth rates? Yes, that's right. In the last 2 centuries, improvements in technology and health meant fewer children died young, fueling rapid population growth. These large families produced even more children who survived into adulthood and had their own children. But with a wider availability of contraception in the 1960s, the global average number of babies per woman has declined from 6 babies per woman to as low as 2. The biggest factor in child mortality is poverty, and while it's still true that only 20% of the world takes about 74% of the world's income, 60% of the world now falls into a middle income group with 11.6% poverty. If the majority of the world's people have money, international aid could realistically achieve the UN target of eradication poverty by 2030. As poverty goes down, life expectancy goes up. Birth rates go down because parents can expect their exciting children to survive, and the global population stabilizes. As for news stories that make us think that world is an increasingly violent place, there is cause for some optimism too. Between the end of World War II and
1990.
1990, there were 30 wars that killed more than so
100,000 people.
100,000 people. Today there are still civil wars, but countries are mostly so excited,
Coexisting.
more coexisting more peacefully than in the past. However, terrorism has shot up in the last few years, and since World War II, wars have killed many more civilizations than soldiers. Even for civilians, so the statistics are not so bad. Also, deaths are 9 times more likely to be a result of violent crime than political conflict. The global murder rate fell slightly from 80 per to 100,000 people in 2000 to about 5.3 in 2015. Of course, no one of this means the world is perfect, and whether you personally are affected by war and poverty is often down to the lottery of where you born. Also, we still face huge problems of our own making, particularly environmental ones like global warming, and wealth and natural resources need to be distributed more fairly. But not all the news is bad news, whatever the TV and newspapers might say.
Okay, so let's do 1.3. Angie, that was fast.
Yeah, I was doing it during Sophia was reading.
Okay, so that you don't miss out. Okay, no problem. So Sophia, read the answers.
11 billion the expected peak global population. Second, 20% the size of the richest group of people. 74% the amount of the richest group's income. 60% the amount of people who are neither rich nor poor. 11.6% the amount of people with the least money. 5.3 the number of murders per 100,000 people in 2015.
Okay, well, going to discuss the questions. Andrew, read the question for us. The first question for us.
Okay, so what does the word apparently in the first paragraph tell us about the rise in violence we see in the news? It seems to me that everything is bad, because there was said that apparently the rising violence and population rates mean humans are both killing each other, in if ever large numbers are being born and rates the world's resources can't sustain.
Okay, no problems. Sophia, the next question.
Which factor does not cause the birth rate to fall? Mhm.
So which factor? Hello.
Yes, I'm thinking
Andrew, can you help her?
I'm trying to find that factor too.
Okay, what of number 3? One of the UN's target for 2020, 2030.
Yeah, it was something about eradicating a poverty.
Eradicating poverty. Yes, eradicating poverty. Vision 2030 to eradicate poverty. Okay. So there is a reason to be optimistic because, Sophia, what do you think? Is there any reason to be optimistic?
Maybe yes.
And what about you?
If you're talking about my opinion, because I don't know, because we we could do everything, but we would have to do it. But if you're talking about text, unfortunately, I can't find the right answer here.
You said you can find the right answer?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I wait you.
So it's like countries are mostly coexisting more peacefully than in the past. It's like reasons for to be optimistic.
Yes. Yes, it's a reason, but but in the actual sense, is it really true? What do you think? In the real sense, are they really coexisting? Hello?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, no problem. So the next is our homework. Let's try to do our homework, and that'll be all for today. Happy Easter once again. So Andrew, I hope the lesson was quick as you thought it should be, so you could go back to your Easter celebration.
Yeah, yeah, thank you.
And Sophia, sorry you were a bit late. Sorry, it's because of the Easter. Andrew begged that we try to fasten the lesson today so everyone will go and enjoy their Easter celebration. Okay, Sophia, thank you for your time.
Thank you for your lesson.
Okay, thank you for at least you participated well the few minutes you joined us. So please try to watch the video so you'd understand the grammar and try to do yours in your platform. Do you understand?
Yes.
I'll check that up. So try to do it. Andrew, thank you so much for your time. I sincerely appreciate.
Yeah, thank you to you too. Have a nice Easter celebration.
Okay, you too. Have a nice Easter too. Sophia, happy Easter once again. Enjoy. See you
Thank
next week, Monday.
you.
Next, yeah,
Okay.
same. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye. Bye.